Hey, it's a great time for this, folks. Become more energy and cost efficient. And thanks to the experts at Unified Insulation Systems, they're going to help us do that. So that's why Operations Director Scott Taylor is here. And this is the time of year, I guess, maybe you should have thought about insulation a little bit before it got so cold out.
Right.
But now you probably know where you need it because there's always a cold spot in your house.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always trying to educate homeowners on, it's not just the winter time that you really need to think about insulation. It's also the summertime with the heating and cooling both.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
Yeah, so I was talking about being cold. Like I got a cold spot in my house at the top of the steps on a landing upstairs. You step on the floor and it's freezing. The rest of the house seems all right. So do you ever get calls from people that have like a cold spot and you go help them with that?
Yes. Yes, every day. Biggest part of insulation and what we do is also air sealing. So if there's areas that there's a draft coming in, we are able to run tests to show where those problem areas are, even not just stepping on it or finding an area.
Yes, and so we're talking about insulating for the cold, but then you brought up the fact that when you air condition your house, that's probably even more expensive. It's probably most important to have the insulation then.
It can be. The more you hear that air conditioner running, the more your electric bill is going up, and energy costs are all going up across the board.
You hear the cash register going like this.
You do.
Hey, so if somebody gives you a call and they come out, like what kind of materials are you talking about? Do you blow it in the walls? Do you put sheets, or how does it work?
We do a little bit of everything. The majority of what we do is blown in with the cellulose product, and then we also do some blown fiberglass. So we don't do too much in the sheeting department, like on the outside of the house. We do more of we'll pull a row siding off if we're going to do your walls.
Right.
We'll drill our holes, and then we'll put a tube in the wall and fill those up with the cellulose, and it's called a dense packing procedure.
Okay, so sometimes you see people advertise. Some people they put a urethane foam in there, and they're foaming up the walls. And you're talking about a different kind of product. What's the advantages of your product over some of those?
Our product is more long-standing. It's not a water-based product like some of the foams are. So some of that shrinks, and then it creates gaps in the walls, and then you have airflow between the walls, and it's not good for you.
Is it possible, or is it important to insulate masonry houses, brick houses?
You can do that, yes. We have a block foam as well that we pump into CMU. So that can help if it's a block home, or if somebody wants to do their basement, say they have a walkout off the back of their house and it's a block wall. We can put a block foam inside that to help insulate those walls.
Right. I know sometimes people talk about, especially the window guys, are saying, hey, our windows are going to insulate and all that kind of stuff. But oftentimes it's not just the window that's helping to insulate, but where the problem could be is around the windows.
Correct.
So is that where you guys go? What do you guys do to help people around the windows?
Well, on an existing home, when we dense pack the walls, it actually helps seal up around the windows as well. So if there are gaps, we have actually went in and had people, we either pull off the trim or they have, and there's a window and door foam that you can put around there if there is a gap.
Yeah, I had a guy come over with windows one time, and he's putting a torch on one side and you don't feel the heat on the other side of the window. So he put the windows in, 3 windows, and then when it got cold and windy, it was cold on the outside of the windows. You run into that very often?
Sure. Yeah, every day. Yeah, there's a bunch of issues with windows, but windows make up a very small amount of your home. When you insulate your walls, say your walls are empty, and then you insulate them fully with our product, it can actually show you a 30% decrease in your energy bills.
So let's talk about average jobs and prices and that sort of thing. So somebody has a house, wasn't insulated very well, maybe it's got old batten insulation in it. Can you insulate right over the old batten stuff?
We can still blow our product in with the bat in there. If it's older and it's deteriorated, which it does over the years, we're still able to get the tube into the wall. And our machines pack the insulation at 3.5 pounds per square foot, so it's very strong and it packs it in tight.
Is there like a percentage you talk about with customers, telling them how much money they might save once they insulate, when you're talking to them, looking at their situation and their home?
Yeah, it's over time. So you're spending money on something that you are actually going to get that money back over a period of years. Like I mentioned with walls, there's been studies shown that you can get 30% more efficient with having your walls done.
Yeah.
And then with your ceiling, it's even more than that.
Because I imagine like gas bill, heating bill, electric bill, that kind of thing, you talk about 30% of that. That's probably your biggest bill in your home.
It is.
Yeah, so it save you some trouble there. And then you talked about when you blow it in the walls and the aluminum siding and all that. So when you come in and you leave, can you tell that you've ever been there from the outside?
You won't see no holes. We pull the siding off and then we put it back on when we're done.
Yeah. And how about how big a range do you work in, and how about financing?
We do have financing available, and our radius outside of Akron is about 60 miles. each way. So we do cover a wide range of the coverage area.
Unified Insulation Systems. So how long you guys been around?
The company's been around since 1992, and now we primarily focus on existing homes.
Yeah. So if you got that house that's got the cold wall, or maybe you can't even tell. I mean, you can tell people when you get there how much insulation is in their wall. You figure that out before you start the job, huh?
With our testing that we do, our estimators can come into the home. We run blower door tests to find air leakage, and also we have infrared cameras. Yeah. So on a cold day like today,
oh, you send the camera right in the wall.
Nope, we point it right at the wall, and if the wall's cold, that camera can show you what the temperature difference is from inside to outside.
Oh, that's great. And you can do that in winter or summer,
yes,
based on air conditioning, based on heat. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Give them a call. 60 miles around and save you a lot of money in the end. 30%. I know I had some crazy heating bills when it was really cold a couple of years ago, and could have saved me a lot of trouble. But I do have that cold spot. I'm going to call you.
Call us.
Yeah.
We'll help you today.
Yeah, I could use that help too.